Hello and welcome to the Quarter 2 Excel Report Cards Assistant video. The purpose of this video is to give you assistance in updating the K-2 report cards in Excel in an efficient manner. Some things you might not be looking forward to are perhaps updating each report card student by student, one at a time. Making comments. Some of you have realized that there are some issues with the comment boxes. For example, the K comment box, the bottom right-hand box does not wrap, so therefore you can only fit a very short subject line in there. The K-2 font sizes cannot be changed in the comment boxes, so where some people might have filled up the entire comment box in Quarter 1, you'll need to keep the Quarter 1 comments, but where do you put Quarter 2 comments? Hopefully this video will help give you a few sighs of relief. You can update more than one student at a time. Just like we did for the first report card, you can update multiple students at once. We'll also offer a solution for the comments. This could be a school-based decision on how you do this, and somebody might have a better idea, but this is one suggestion that we came up with. And the Word documents that were attached and should have offered for download at the start of the video are part of the solution. If for some reason you could not do that, all of this will be available on the Blackboard Common Core Resource Finder under K-2 Report Cards tab. So let's look at a first grade report card. Here is the report card. Now this is the one that I set up as the example during the first report card period. So right now I'm on the master report card tab, so there's nothing on it. If you'll notice that the bottom tabs are colored, this really helps when you're doing an update on more than one tab or screen at a time. So if you have not colored them, I really recommend that you go through and color code them. And a quick way to do that is when you're hovering over a tab, you just right click on your mouse. It says tab color, you choose the tab color you want it to be. I would choose a darker color because as you can see, this tab here, I know that I'm on student 3's report card because it is a lighter color than the rest of them. If for some reason you open your Excel and you can't see the tabs, it's because you probably need to maximize it up here so that you go to a full screenshot. Sometimes when you minimize the screenshot, you can't see it, and it makes it problematic. So the next thing is when you're updating your report cards, you'll need to go through and say you want to do all of your class to show progressing and then go back and make the small changes for those that are not progressing. So the way to do that is if you notice I have clicked on student 1, I am going to hold down the shift key if I want to select just the next student and do it in a row. But what if student 5 is really struggling, and I know there's going to be a lot of I's in that area and a lot of X's on the report card, so I might want to do that on an individual basis. If I let off of the shift key and hit control, I can skip that report card and then go to the next. And then I'll just continue to hold the control key down and select the students I want. If student 10 is another student that I really do not want to update, perhaps their report card will look like student 5's, then I'll skip that student and select all. So this is where it comes in handy to have them color-coded, because as you can see, I can now tell which students I am working on because they are all lighter. I arrow over, I'll be able to see them all. So I am still on student 1. I know that I'm on the student 1 screen because even though it's lighter in color, the student 1 is a bolder print, as you can see here. When I went through and tried this out, when I tried to use the drop-down bars, I noticed it did not update to all. So the quickest way to do it is just to turn on your caps lock and hit P, and then your slashes for whatever's in the quarter. Now, remember, if you are doing this, this is going on every single report card that you have highlighted at this point. So you will have to go back and make sure that anybody that's not a slash for progressing in that standard, oops, not quarter 3, that you would go back and change it. So this would just do everything on all the report cards. I'm just going to try and do this quickly. because you don't need to see all of it. I'm going to go back to the top and just do across the top screen that you would see. I've also learned that when you do the control and down key to make it a smaller view, that it looks like everything's not fitting, but it really is. So that was quarter two, quarter three, quarter two. And let me just go over to math. Okay, so now on on student one, you can see I have done the progressing across the top. When I go to student 2, it's showing there as well. Student 4, the same thing. When I click on student 5, all of these now go on bright green, so I am no longer making changes on those. I am making changes only on student 5. If I wanted to do student 5 and 10, I could, oops, wrong button, arrow over. I can control again and click on student 10, and then if I make typing it in, not doing the other way with the drop-down bars, I can make the changes, whatever they may be for that student. And then when I look at student 5, those changes will have been made. So I'm on student 5 now because this is a darker print than student 10. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Just remember, if these two are lighter, whatever changes I make to those two would show up on both report cards. You'll need to make sure that if you're going to individually update a report card, that you click off of it, and now only one student, that individual student's report card is showing so that you can make the individual changes. Now mine, of course, doesn't have any comments because I didn't do that part, but yours probably already has comments in, and they are set to size 11, and you might not be able to make it. If you put comments in, and you put some just general comments in, and wanted to go in, let's say, and I honestly can't recall, but let's say you did a general comment for quarter 1, and it was on all of them. See if that did it. See how now it's on all of them? And so there's still room. I could type quarter 2. One thing you can do is just go in and see how they're all highlighted still. I could just insert in front of that quarter 1, and then behind it, oops, behind it up here in the box where you can type quarter 2, and make your comments. Whatever they may be. So that would bring us up to that. Sorry about the phone. We're going to ignore it and keep going. But perhaps your comment boxes are full and you're thinking, I really don't know what to do with that at this time. One suggestion that we came up with was, what if on the back of your report cards you printed comments? So one way that you might be able to do that is to do a Word document. And I've made one. That was what's available. Let me go here and go back to my application sharing. Pardon me for one moment. And go to the Word document. And I just made, it's on legal size, so it's the same size as your report cards. And I just made the general area. So there's one for each grade level. And you can do this a plethora of ways. Somebody said they wanted to copy and paste their quarter 1 over here and make their quarter 2 on the report card. That seems like a lot of work, but whatever you think is best for your parents. If you wanted to do your quarter 2 comments on it and somewhere on the front notate, please see the back of the report card for all your quarter 2. Somebody had briefly mentioned writing them all, but if you write them all, then you have to make copies of it because you need proof and evidence of what you sent home to the parents. So this was just one option. And if you'll notice, I have student 20 on here because I would do it in the reverse order of what's on my Excel spreadsheet for the report cards. Because if you watch the first video for quarter one, I showed you how you could print all of your report cards at one time. So if you printed them through your Sun printer all at one time, they come out on the top. If you just turned them around and put them in the drop-down tray, and they're to stay face down, then student 20, your last student, would be on the top and would be the first to feed through the printer. I'll show you a picture in just a minute of what I mean. And then your comments would print on the back of that. So you just have to make sure that it's in the exact order of your report cards, just in reverse order. And you can go through and make general comments this way and copy and paste them to the other students. And I just went ahead and made a group of 20. You could change it to be whatever you need it to be, and make your comments there. But that was one solution for a way to do it very quickly and still have the information for the parents. Then if you needed, this would already be saved so that if we were still doing this quarter 3, you could just go in and type your quarter 3 comments on here, and all of your quarters then would then print on the report card, quarter 1 on the front, quarter 2 and 3 on the back. So that is basically all that I have at this time. I'm sure there may still be some questions. If there is anything that we can do to assist, please let us know. Let me make sure. I was going to show you the pictures. I hope you got some size out of this. This is the Sun printer. When you print out your report cards, this top one here is number 20 all the way down. So when you flip it, you just simply turn it around. So now this is your top edge in the drop-down tray, and it prints on the side that's facing up, so that's why the blank side is up. That's very important. And then it would print in reverse order. So number 20 is at the top, and then the first student is at the bottom, and then you could bulk print your comments as well. Hope this was helpful. Good luck on quarter 2 report cards.